Hello, good morning to all traders and welcome on this Monday, the 10th of August. So what we've seen on Friday's closed and Monday's opening is that the US dollar rebounded against most of its main competitor currencies. This is after key employment data in the labour market in the world's biggest economy was better than what was feared. The Labour Department's non-farm payrolls report showed that 1.8 million jobs were added in the month of July. This was down from the month of June, but it was a little bit better than the 1.6 that was forecasted. However, going forward, the risk sentiment may turn negative as US-China tensions increased, with Washington issuing orders banning the US from dealing in certain Chinese technology firms. This also could have an effect on the so-called Phase 1 deal signed between the two countries earlier this year. So we're going to look at a couple of major pairs, the euro dollar to start off with. I'm going to look at the short term only, because it seems that it's a very significant move on Friday. So we're seeing at the moment that a little bit of support in this kind of area is showing that it's failing to break any lower. So what we've seen from the start of the month, of the trading month, is that we had a bit of a push downwards at this level, but this was completely out of the Ichimoku cloud, and we've seen another dip and it's been brought back up into the cloud. So this signifies that there was going to be a break upwards, which we saw, and then we've seen it come back down with the bit of the strength in the dollar, and obviously this was last Friday's NFP result. So we've fallen back down into the cloud and we've tested this level again. It could be another false break, as now we're pushing back up. We're trading between the Tenkan and the Kenjun lines, as we can see here. So this indicates maybe another push on the upside. So if we do get another small push, if it gets back into the cloud, we could then see another push at perhaps these levels up here. We can see obviously that there's been some further support at this level as well. If we just put a Fibonacci in from the lowest to the highest that we've seen, again we've seen some convergent lines. So what I'm going to think about is probably looking at this point here. If we do get a bit of a push on the downside, it looks like it's going to probably hit this line, or maybe even this line here where we saw the other support, and then probably have a move on the upside into the cloud again, and then push for the golden ratio at 61.8%. So this is what I'll be looking out for today. There's a very possible move that we could start pushing upwards again, depending on if we receive more news coming out of Washington in the next probably 8 hours or so, when America starts waking up. So I'm on to the pound dollar now. Again, we can see a similar pattern emerging where we've seen a couple of tests on the downside since the beginning of the month. So we've seen it bounce on this line, start moving upwards into the cloud. Again, we've seen a lot of activity in the cloud. It's pushed up away from it, and now it's pushing back down again because of the figures that we've seen. We had this false break on just after the NFP on Friday, and now again we're trading like the euro dollar, trading in between the Tenkan and Kenjun lines. So we can expect maybe another push upwards into the cloud. Again, we could see a bounce on this line and then a move back upwards as the trend indicates. If we can put another Fibonacci to see what levels we're at. So again, pretty much like the euro dollar, we're seeing a bounce off this line, or possibly this line here, and then a move upwards. I would say I'd be looking at the 23.6 today. I'll be putting in maybe a buy position on that if it does get down, and then pushing upwards into the cloud, and then we could see levels reach again the 61.8, and then which is at 1.31, quite a good psychological level there, and then another attempt upwards at these levels here. So very, very interesting today, depending on the news that we get out of America, and also the Eurozone news as we go into the trading day. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for being with me, and if you have any comments, just please add them to the video, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Have a great trading day. Bye for now.